Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? My name is Tony Rizzano, and this is another episode of the world famous, the University of Love, the best podcast in 1, 2, 3 galaxies. But ladies and gentlemen, you and I, we just call this show Online Marketing Moves, and we are coming to you live today. Today, Thursday, October the 28th, 2021. Ladies and gentlemen, this show was supposed to drop yesterday. I recorded it, but then I uploaded it, and apparently it did not go through. And then I accidentally deleted it last night, and so I said, "Oh, gotta re-record the whole thing." So here we are, and it's right now. I am here in Georgia, the great state of Atlanta, Georgia, the great state of Georgia, the great city of Atlanta. It is 4:05 a.m. and we're doing re-record. We'll probably drop 2 podcasts today, and so be it. And today, ladies and gentlemen, for this episode, I'm going to discuss with you something very important, and that's about your business. And that is, don't be a sucker when it comes to running a business. And what I mean by that is, you don't need a lot of bells and whistles to get started, okay? You don't need a lot of stuff. And I'm going to give you an example. If you live in America and you are, quote unquote, in the middle class, you might be a sucker, okay? Because people that are in the middle class are the suckers of the United States. And why do I say that? Because the rich, they have tax attorneys, okay? And they have different ways of going about. I'm not saying they cheat on their taxes, but they have ways of going about not paying taxes. Poor people, they don't have any money to pay taxes, and so you have the middle class who complain all day long. Every time I turn around and see all these people, these politicians and Democrats. One of their main things is, we should tax the rich, we should tax the rich, we should tax the rich, And it's like, if you are in the middle class category, you don't have to pay taxes also, Everybody knows, if you study the law, this is one thing, ladies and gentlemen, that I'm here to tell you. You have a business, Ignorance of the law does not work. Okay, if you have a business and you're not paying your taxes, and then it's 2 years and you made over $600 both years, and then you wonder why the IRS sticks you with a hefty bill, and then you go, well, they don't pick on so and so. Let's not worry about so and so. Let's worry about yourself, okay? And so you do not want to be a sucker. You do not want to be a rube. You do not want to fall into this category, and what I mean by bells and whistles, I mean when people get into business, they always want to go, especially for the businesses that are not going to go anywhere. And I will give you a perfect example. Okay. I myself have been driving trucks for 15 years. I myself, one time I used to have a job. Well, I will go around, and we have this thing called lease purchase in trucking. We're gonna go to truck driving for a second. In truck driving, we have this thing called lease purchase. What it is you don't outright buy a truck from a dealership. You buy a truck from a company. Let's say one of the big. What's a company that you know? Think of a trucking company that you heard of before. And then you all of a sudden you say, hey, I want to be a business. They'll tell you, hey, you want to be a business owner? You go, hey, sure. And then they will tell you $600 a week payment. You are your own boss. Okay. Well, technically you're not, because nothing's worse than leasing a truck from the same company that's going to give you the loads. But keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, if you ever know anybody that says they want to get into a lease purchase. But anyway. So you get into this lease purchase, and I know I've seen plenty of people do this. First week, They have no money, you know. You starting a business. The first thing you should do when you start a business is try to figure out how you can start generating some money, okay? First things first. Before you buy gadgets, gizmos, everything else on God's green earth, you should try to figure out how you should drum up some cash. And the first thing these people do, and it always was like this. First thing these people would do when they lease the truck, they would lease the truck, they would hand them the keys, they would tell them, all right, what you ready to roll? You ready to go? You ready to start work? Ready to start making money for this truck? The first thing the people would say was, wait a minute, I gotta go to the chrome store. And if you know anything about trucking, you know people love chrome and trucking. They love to put chrome on the wheels, chrome in the dash. I never understood it. Never understood it, me myself. But hey, it's not my business. First thing these people would do, go off and buy $300, $400 worth of chrome. You know, they would take a loan out. You know, you kidding me? You're running a business, and the first thing you do is take a loan out to buy some stupid chrome. And that's the thing that a lot of people do when it comes to the internet, because it's not. I'm telling you, the ceiling is so low that people, instead of them thinking of ways to make money, the first thing they do is go, well, I need gadgets and gizmos. I need a $900 computer. I need a $900 camera. I need this. I need that. You know, before I can get started. And it's like, no, you don't need a lot of that. You know, some things you can just get for cheap. Some things you can just get on after you start getting money. You know, and that's how it is when it comes to. That's why I equate people being suckers when it comes to business to being in the middle class, because people that are in the middle class, a lot of times they grew up in their lives and they grew up poor, you know, and there's nothing wrong with that. How you start is not the issue, you know. You can't help the family you were born into, you know. You know, me myself, I grew up, you know, we grew up poor, you know what I mean? Like, it's not a big deal. Who cares? But these people get these ideas, you know, and they get older. And they're like, oh, I didn't have this and I didn't have that when I was a kid. So all my kids are going to have, you know, boats and cars and all this kind of stuff. And then the people in the middle class, they're not the boss, you know what I mean? Most of the time they're, you know, they make a decent salary. But how do you make that decent salary? You have to work and you have to work and you have to work. So you spend all your time working to pay for all these toys that you don't have the time to use, you know. That is what we call a sucker, ladies and gentlemen, okay? And a lot of people in the middle class are like that, you know. I have a few family members, you know, and they are like that. They have all these gadgets and gizmos. I'm thinking, when do you have time to do them? You're always at work. And they're like, I don't know. I'm going to do it one day. And then these people wait till like 65 to try to enjoy life. And it's like, you know, if you would just scale back on some of the stuff that you buy, you know, some of the stuff that you purchase, you would not have to worry about you know, stressing yourself out and always living, you know, you're like one step away from going bankrupt, you know. You're still one step away from digging into some debt that you can't get out of, you know. And it's crazy and it's sad to see, you know. But all day long you hear people screaming about the middle class. Oh, we need to tax the rich. We need to tax the rich. No, what you need to do is you need to shut up and you need to study about your own affairs instead of consuming, you know, because the middle class are consumers. And if you're in a business, it don't matter if it's an internet business, don't matter if it's brick and mortar business. If you spend all day worrying about other people's stuff, consuming everybody else's content, consuming everything else except your business, then you're not going to make it either. You know, you're going to be a sucker too. You're going to be in the middle. And being in the middle, when it comes to business, you want to be the best. You don't want to be in the middle. You don't want to be ahead. And the reason why you don't want to be in the middle is because when times get tough, economic times, you know, this is just like the housing market. Before 2008, 2007, everybody was in real estate. Everybody was a realtor. Let them tell it. Oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that with the real estate. You know, I got this, I got that going on. You know, blah 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 blah. You name it, they was doing it. Everything under the sun. You know, God bless them, but they was doing everything under the sun. And what happened? 2008 came, housing market crash, boom. You see, you separate the the business people from the wannabe business people at that point, you know. And it's the same about online marketing. The same about network marketing, internet marketing, affiliate marketing. You have the wannabes who spend all their time on Facebook complaining about everybody under the sun, you know. Oh, this guru ripped me off, this guru ripped me off, this guru ripped me off, you know. And it's like, hey man, at the end of the day, it's up to you, you know. You don't have to listen to all these gurus, you know. You don't have to buy all these $2,500 courses, these $3,000 courses. A lot of these courses are full of it, you know. A lot of these courses are trash. So you have to do your due diligence. But at the same time, if you're gonna spend $2,500 on a course, I suggest you do $2,500 worth of work in that course. You know, put your best foot forward in the course. You know, and if you try and you're like, well, this is some garbage, then make a video, create some content, make a video, and say, hey, this course, I did everything that this course said, and it didn't work for me. Maybe it's gonna work for you, but it didn't work for me. I don't recommend this course. And, you know, maybe after that you can start creating your own course, you know. Because once you see how the layout works about all this stuff, then it gets a lot simpler, you know. It's not easy. The hardest thing for anybody to do, when it comes to internet marketing, when it comes to all this stuff, the hardest thing for anybody to do is generate a following, generating traffic. Once you get that down pat, everything else is smooth sailing, you know. You have to generate traffic. You have to build an audience. That is the hardest part. Sometimes, for some people, it's going to take months. Some people, it's going to take days. Some people, it might take years. It just depends on who you are. So don't be a sucker. Don't be a rube, man. Don't be in the middle class. Middle class is the worst place you can be, especially if you live in America. People, all they do is complain all day about getting screwed over, paying more taxes, you know. And there's so many books. There's so many books, and there's so much information out there about how you can, you know, pay less taxes. You know, donations, you know, business write-offs, all this stuff. You know, all this stuff. But hey, I'm just a messenger, you know. And so, ladies and gentlemen, don't be in the middle pack of business, you know. Don't be a sucker for that either, because when times get hard, you know, you don't want to. When times get hard, you don't want to. You don't want to flounder, and if you're in the middle, a lot of times, you'll get the cut, you know. It's like I read before. If you're not the lowest price in town, then charge as much as you can. Okay, you know, you don't want to be like the Dollar Tree. They have stuff for $1. Okay, I'm gonna be the $2 tree. Nah, it don't really work like that. You got the Dollar Tree, then you got on the other end, like a Target, you know, kind of a fancy department store, if you want to call it that, you know. So, and with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. That's it for the podcast. We'll be back later on with all new episode of Online Marketing Moves. But until then, my name is Tony Rosano. Thank you for listening, and as always, everybody, peace.